I don't know about y'all, but I am not buying this. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the Secret Service concluding their investigation into the White House cocaine. They are not able to determine anything about it. They don't know who it belonged to, how it got in there, or anything else. Now, there's a lot I want to get into. We have a news clip we're going to show in a minute. But first, let's go back to explain how we've gotten here today. How there was a Secret Service investigation into some cocaine in the White House. Now, a few days ago on a Sunday, not this past Sunday, but the previous Sunday, there was some cocaine found in the White House when there was a routine sweep of the White House by Secret Service. Now, first, it was a hazmat situation. It was a whole big thing. They brought all the authorities. They had fire, police. They were shutting down streets. There were all kind of stuff going on because they thought it might have been something dangerous. But right on the scene, the fire department out there in D.C. tested it to see what it was, and it popped back positive for cocaine. Now, I'm not really sure why they had a cocaine tester kit just on hand in the White House, but that's a different story, and I digress. The whole point is that they found out that it was cocaine right there. And then what did the news say? Oh, we don't know. It might be anthrax. Anthrax. So then there was a separate test done by Secret Service. And then they concluded that it was what we knew from the beginning. It was cocaine. Now, the question is, okay, how did the cocaine get there? To get into the White House is not easy. There are many checkpoints. They go through your pockets. In order for you to bring cocaine in the White House, you got to be somebody. You can't just be a regular normie during the tour, bringing coke to the White House. Furthermore, the area where it was not accessible to the general public. You got to be high level cabinet member, or I don't know, maybe like the president, vice president, president's son, perhaps. And by the way, we all know that it could have belonged to Hunter. It most likely belonged to him because he has a history of drug abuse, using cocaine in the crack form, in the cooked up, rocked up form, in the street dealer, crackhead, cheat form. That's what Hunter Biden did. He has taped himself smoking crack on numerous occasions on a laptop. And by the way, the same government that are now telling us they don't know who did it, they don't know where it came from, is the same government that said that the Hunter Biden laptop was fake, Russian disinformation, all that good stuff. But that's a different story, and I digress. The whole point is that Secret Service has concluded their investigation, and they don't know how the cocaine got there, who it belongs to. They review all the thousands of cameras, and they found no connection to the cocaine. Now, are you buying that? I'm not buying that at all. And before I say anything else, we have a news clip to get through. I want to see what my man Jose Diaz-Balart says over on NBC. If you want to see this clip in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Breaking news regarding the Secret Service investigation into the bag of cocaine found inside the White House. I want to bring in NBC's Kelly O'Donnell at the White House and NBC's Ali Vitali on Capitol Hill. Kelly, what do we know this morning?
Well, the mystery, Jose, will remain a mystery. Sources have been providing us an update on the investigation, and now the Secret Service has also put out a formal statement. The testing that was done on this small plastic baggie of cocaine, which was found.
Okay, now it's a plastic baggie, you see. They didn't say that at first. They just said they found some cocaine. They didn't give out the detail that it was in a plastic baggie. All right, so that's a pretty interesting little wrinkle to the story. Let's continue.
Inside what I would call a working entrance of the White House on West Executive Avenue. It was found Sunday evening, July 2nd. Testing has been done for DNA, for fingerprints, and nothing was found of a forensic nature that can be used to compare to the list of individuals that the investigation determined had access to that area.
Now, let's pause for a minute right here. There is a lot that she said right there. First of all, this map, remember, this is the west wing of the White House in the basement. This is not accessible to the general public. When you go on a tour, you don't go down here. I've been inside the White House, not once, not twice, but thrice, 3 times I've been there. I've never seen this place. It's in the basement. You're not going to just go there by being a normie tourist. That's not where you go. You go to the designated tourist areas where they got food and all that good stuff. You're not going to be down here. All right. Now, the second thing is I want to know who's on the list. Who were the suspects? And then were they on the list because they had access to the area, or were they on the list because they had access to the area and they could be potential cocaine users? That's what I want to know, but let's continue.
Sources tell me they went through the entrance logs and video and were able to compile a list of several hundred people who in the preceding days prior to that Sunday evening had been through that location. Now, that location on the ground floor is on the way to the Situation Room, but at the moment, that Situation Room is not in use. It's undergoing construction, and a separate alternative Situation Room is being utilized elsewhere, not in the White House, but across in the executive office building. So a limited universe of people who would be going through there, but a large one, because on weekends and after hours, there are staff-led tours that can bring in family members, friends, and so forth to see parts of the West Wing. They use that entrance. Contractors use that entrance, employees, and so forth. So they compiled a large list of individuals, and there was video of the passageways and people walking about, but there was no usable video focused on the storage cubbies in that secure area where a visitor would put a cell phone or electronic device before going deeper into the West Wing. So that means after about 10 days of looking at this, using 2 federal labs, including one at Fort Detrick, which checked to make certain this had no biological weapon-like substance. It was, in fact, cocaine. That was determined. And the FBI crime lab, which used sensitive and advanced fingerprinting technology. They were not able to come up with usable information.
Let's pause. Are you believing this? Are you really believing this? And they said that, okay, so they're trying to say that the cocaine was found in a baggie inside of a cubicle where you would put your cell phone, other kind of little things before you go deeper into the White House. And I guess I was wrong about the whole thing about normies not going there. I stand corrected. But I'm sure there's cameras everywhere. I know there's cameras everywhere. And if you are going to place certain things in a secure location that you cannot bring into the rest of the White House, I would presume there's cameras right there, because you want to see what people are putting into the lockers. It wouldn't just not be any cameras or bad quality video. Why would the White House have gas station type cameras in there where it looks like you're looking at Bigfoot when it's right up on the camera? That doesn't make any sense. You just heard her say that the FBI has advanced fingerprinting techniques. So we have advanced techniques that we don't even have in the general public. Not in any police department. They have it in the federal agencies, but we don't have advanced cameras. Make that make sense? Let's keep on going.
So today, officials from the Secret Service briefed lawmakers on Capitol Hill, some of them already not finding that satisfactory, that there was no answer. Also, in the course of the investigation, they reviewed what has happened over the last few years. And I'm told that they had 2 incidents where a small amount of marijuana was detected, and the individual who would have brought that was not able to come on the grounds.
Okay, see, there we go. So before, somebody tried to bring weed in the White House, but they were not allowed to because there's advanced detection techniques, okay, that will prevent that kind of thing from happening. Like I said, the White House is pretty secure. You can't just go in there. You can't just go in there. Like this whole entrance where you could just enter, you still, in order to even get to that particular part, you still got to go through checkpoints. Like I remember going to the White House, and to get to an entrance, there was another entrance before that. So they're not really being genuine when they say, oh, you could just come in here from the outside. No, you can't just, you couldn't just go to the entrance they showed directly from outside the gate. It ain't like going into somebody's front yard and then to their house. Like if you have a fence or something in your front yard, you could just open the gate and then go into your door. That's not the way the White House works, because that'll just not have any kind of security. anybody could just walk in and go. No, there are checkpoints before you get to the door. All right. So I would presume that if you got drugs on you, that will also be detected. Just like she said, it was detected when somebody had some weed on them, but they couldn't come into the premises because it was already detected beforehand.
In the District of Columbia, marijuana became legal, but not in federal locations. So in terms of have there been past instances where illicit drugs were found at the White House? Officials tell me in the last several years where they've checked back on records, there is no indication of that.
Of course.
Also, separately, the White House pointed out that the Biden family was not there that weekend.
That's not true. Why are we lying? Look, Karine Jean-Pierre was trying to say that they weren't there, but then they came out that they were there on that Friday up until about 6:30, and we all know how it is on a weekend. Friday, that's like the beginning. So he was there as late as Friday. Speaking about Hunter Biden, so if he was there with his cocaine on the Friday, and then he left it, and they don't find it that Friday night, like they might have done the sweep before he dropped the cocaine allegedly. So when he leaves, the cocaine drops. They don't find it Saturday. They find it the next day, Sunday. That's definitely possible.
And they, of course, want to head off the political argument that this could have somehow belonged to Hunter Biden, who had a past cocaine addiction, substance abuse problem. The White House has made clear that he was not there from Friday evening through Tuesday when that was found. And beyond that,
it was found on Sunday. So now you're saying it was found on Tuesday. We're getting our stories kind of confused. And I remember they said it was on Sunday, and then they talked about it on Tuesday. They broke it to the media on Tuesday, but it was found on Sunday.
Family members typically don't use a working entrance.
Okay, so that's that right there. All right. So very, very interesting. As I close, I want to say this. I'm not buying the story. I'm just not. I'm not buying the story. I think, in my humble opinion, from my point of view, from my perspective, my viewpoint, mine alone, I'm not saying it's true or false or anything like that. This is just what I think, my opinion. I think it belonged to Hunter. He dropped it, and then it was found, and that's all that it was to it. Because you can't just go into the White House with drugs. It's talking about that working entrance, but you have to go through one. You can't just get to that entrance from outside the gate. You have to go through security and then go to that entrance. That's how it works. And just like she said, there was an attempt to bring some weed in the White House, but the attempt was thwarted because you're not going to be able to bring drugs in there. There's advanced detection techniques. There may be dogs on the premises. So I'm not buying the whole thing about, oh, it's a working entrance and anybody could have come in there and dropped the cocaine. I'm not buying it. I think it's a cover up because they know who did it. And if they say who did it, that's going to hurt the guy in the White House right now in a 2024 presidential campaign, from my point of view. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What do you think is going on here? Do you think it's a cover up? Do you think Secret Service knows exactly what happened, who did it, how they did it, but they don't want to say? Just like they were trying to say from the jump, oh, it could be anthrax, might not be cocaine. I think they knew what happened immediately, but they don't want to tell us. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I'm just not buying it. It's ridiculous. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.